My name is Muiwa Demolam. People call me Authentic. Keep watching Mid-Morning Show on BCOS RTV. God bless you as you do.
Good morning. You're welcome to the Monday edition of the Mid-Morning Show on BCOS television. Today is the 17th day in the month of August, and once again, I'm saying welcome. I'm your host, Ifeoluwa Olaoye. And of course, I am not riding solo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for joining the Monday edition of Mid-Morning Show. My name is Oluwagbemiga Olabisi. We are here again, the first working day in this week, and you know what Monday brings? It brings us excitement with front face. You know, you front face, but you're excited.
Yes.
You're excited that it's a week, but
and you're sad that the weekend is over.
Yes, but the energy you put in the first day of the week determines how your week is going to run. So put the positive energy out there. It's good to have you join us this morning. And over the weekend, a lot happened.
Indeed, democracy prevailed.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Osun people. Yes, it was a huge victory.
Actually, because a lot of people, I would say that it showed who they wanted, and of course they got what they wanted. Of course, there's still quite a number of people, some people that would have preferred another candidate. But what do you say? Congratulations to the incumbent governor,
yes,
who has emerged governor of Osun State. Congratulations to Osun State people there. Yeah, it's good to be here, you know, and something about, there's this saying that is talk about education, and they say that education is the best legacy you can give a child.
Yes,
but
it is.
Now, there have been another saying that says that school is a scam.
Well, and then you wonder, which one should it be, education or not? Should people actually go to school? Like, is education actually necessary? It makes you wonder, especially with things that are happening right now. You see a lot of people come out and say, oh, I'm not even educated. I don't have a degree. And then you find them online because they are doing well. You know, they are YouTubers, they are skit makers, and they're making their millions. And then a lot of people come out to say, is education actually important? I mean, you're a professor or maybe you have a degree, but does it actually pay? How much does it put in your pocket? And then
it's quite funny that we now narrow our yardstick for success to money. Because most times when we look at things, it's very unfortunate that we just it has the money, has the number, and thanks or not thanks to that platform that makes everybody a superstar. Maybe on that platform like this, you become a superstar. It's so worrisome, and of course these are things we'll be looking at today on the show this morning. But before then, we have to go on this break, and we'll be looking at this future on academic life.
The most asked question while we were young is, what do you want to be when you grow up? For many, this common question never had a response of, I want to be a teacher. Teaching hasn't really been portrayed as a lucrative and beautiful profession, although the impact of lecturers and teachers as a whole on our society can't be overemphasized. Thinking of the importance of an academic, questions as these come to mind. What qualifies an individual to become an academic? What are the ranks in the academic sphere? And what is the benchmark of an academician? Early times in Nigeria, traditional knowledge were taught by the elders. Sons acquired skills by observing their fathers. For example, the village herbalist trains his son to become the next village herbalist, and this is the cycle that runs through several generations. Like old times, the modern-day academic has to become a student before becoming a teacher, only that learning is now formal. The history of Western education in Nigeria was intimately bound up with the history of Western education in Europe. During and after the Dark Ages in Europe, the church dominated the business of education, and this had a tremendous impact on the intellectual life of people, not only in Europe and America, but also in the British colonial territories of Asia and Africa, in which Nigeria wasn't left out. During colonial period, teachers appointed were untrained and unqualified, as teacher education programs were not available in the country then. In 1901, quoting the words of the then inspector of school, one could diverse the untrained status of teachers in Nigeria. Quoting him, very few of the teachers in the schools in the protectorate hold any certificate or have any training as teachers. They are for the most part mission agents of whose duties teaching in the mission schools, unquote. But by 1859, the Church Missionary Society founded the first teacher training institution in Nigeria. Although before the establishment, the first academicians in Nigeria were the missionaries, and to involve the indigenes, the school was established in Abeokuta, and it was named the Training Institution. The Training Institution was later moved to Lagos State in the year 1867, when the missionaries were exiled from the town of Abeokuta. The great impact laid by the Church Missionary Society was later followed by the Baptist Mission, and it founded a teacher training college in Ogbomoso in 1897. The trend continued as the Wesleyan Methodist founded Wesley College, Ibadan, in 1905, and it goes on till this present age, where we now have the primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. We can then say the first set of people who got trained during that era brought about the birth of other teachers, as well as the establishment of various schools in our today contemporary society. The first set of the academician has really brought a huge impact in our educational system today, and we can call them the teachers that teach the teachers. The teaching profession in Nigeria has faced so many ordeals. The general umbrella for teachers, the Nigerian Union of Teachers, was formally inaugurated in 1931, which came about partly because of the vulnerabilities exposed by the Great Depression, which led to cuts in teachers' salaries and a seemingly lack of job security. Since then, the union has fought for the welfare of its members. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, was formed in 1978, a successor to the Nigerian Association of University Teachers, formed in 1965, which covered the academic staff in all of the federal and state universities in the country. The union has organized several strike action from 1980s even till now. To regulate and control the teaching profession, the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the TRCN, was established in 1993, and it controls the teaching profession at all levels in Nigeria and Nigeria's education system in both public and private sectors. Furthermore, teacher education is considered to be the foundation for quality and relevance in education at all levels. The level of education determines the ranking of an academic. After the basic education of primary and secondary school, an individual who aspires to teach others must proceed to a higher institution such as a college of education, a university, polytechnic, or an equivalent. Such individuals should study education in a specific field. People who don't have a degree in education will have to undergo a postgraduate degree in education, or PDGE, to be qualified as a teacher, after which such individual proceeds to bag a master's in education and a doctorate in a specific field to become a full lecturer. The benchmark of an academic is to become an emeritus professor. Before this stage, many waters would have passed under the bridge, from being an undergraduate to being a postgraduate, a graduate assistant, an assistant lecturer, a lecturer 1, a lecturer 2, a senior lecturer, an assistant professor, an associate professor, a professor, and finally, attaining the title Emeritus Professor. It is clear that it takes years of hard work and dedication to reach the summit of academic pursuit. And so next time you meet an academician, give them the accolades they deserve, because education
under attack. But not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Dirty and stains no fit do us shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
You're welcome back to the Mid-Morning Show on BCOS television, and we just saw that feature on academic life. Now, for generations, it's been known or it's been thought that if you have a professional certificate or you have a university degree, that it's the pathway to being productive and to life. However, it seems that things have changed with the emergence of social media, of AI, technological skills. It seems that things are changing day by day, and we would see that the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, the 2025, estimates that 39% of workers' core skills will change by 2030 with technological literacy, AI and big data, creative thinking, resilience and lifelong learning among the skills that are gaining importance. And it raises the question that, is education actually important? Is skills, or are skills not gaining much more relevance than having a university degree or having a professional certificate? That's what a lot of people are asking right now, and that's where our discussion will be centered on today.
Yes, as we're looking at the topic, skills over certificate, is school still enough? And we have in the studio with us Professor Adebayo Oluwole, a career development and counseling consultant. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, viewers at home. I say good morning.
Good morning.
Comment.
Now, we're talking about education and looking at the reality on ground now. It seems that things have changed from when you were young and still pursuing your education, we're going to school with the determination that you were going to have this so much certificate, compared to a younger generation now who just think that a secondary school certificate is enough because he or she decides to pick up a vocational skill. What is your own view on that, sir?
Yeah, when we talk of skills and certificates, skills and schools, because when we talk of certificates, we are thinking about school system.
Yes.
And be as it may, things continue to change across the world, because a philosopher said that the mind that creates a problem cannot be the same mind that will provide solution. You need a higher order thinking to be able to provide solution. So, years, you talk of going to school, getting the certificate as your meal ticket, then you land a good career, then you continue with your life as simple as ABC. Despite that, things were not so simple that time. But today, we are beyond that postulation, because certificates are very, very crucial, very important. They serve as the foundation for an individual to get well recognized, visible, accepted in the so-called elite world. But at the same time, skills are very crucial in order for us to be able to get a good job, to become viable, to become acceptable, to become relevant, we need skills. And you will see that on many occasions we talk of certificates, singular, we talk of skills, plural, because there are so many things that are expected of an individual today to be able to fit well into a given works space. Most importantly, digital literacy. Digital literacy is very essential. There are other things that experts and employers of labor look out for today in an individual who is a graduate, whether NCE graduate, polytechnic graduate, OND, HND, diploma, degree graduates. So be as it may, I will never ever agree with anybody that maybe schools and certificates are much more important than skills, or skills are more important than certificates. No. Both of them are very crucial for today's survivor.
So, combination of both.
Combination of both.
Now, before we talk more on that, some years back, we had this issue of round peg in a square hole, where someone would come to say that I study Yoruba, now I'm working in a finance department of my company, and that was what we used to fight. But now we're not talking about skills. You just mentioned that employers are even looking beyond just certificates. They want to see other skills you have. Now, is that not also saying that instead of going for certificates, rather just go for skills that is going to put you out there and make you employable?
Thank you very much. No, the issue is this. The two are very, very critical for today's survivor, because let's say I never go to school. I've never been to any school, whether school with borders or school without borders. Then I acquire skills. That is, part of skills include to communicate effectively, ability to manage different situations, ability to handle different clients and whatever. So in a way, you cannot say you want to be a pharmacist today without certificate. We have TRCN, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. This is a highly specialized discipline. Despite that, in our society, we look down on teachers. To be a teacher today, even in private and public school, they will say that part of the requirement is that you should have bachelor degree in education or BSc BA with PGDE, and you must have passed and have TRCN certificate. Nurses have their own license. After they have finished nursing school, that is not the end of it. So in a way, certificate will continue to be what? To be relevant. But as it is, what we notice is that there is misalignment between certificate holders and the skills they require for them to effectively work at workplace. In employer forum this year, employer consultative forum, they noticed that about 60% of our graduates from tertiary institutions are not working where they should, are not doing what they are trained for.
According to their degrees.
According to their degrees. NISA report also, the first quarter, report that. Now they notice that employers of labor are looking for some things. For example, emotional intelligence. For example, ability to write good CV. For example, ability to effectively communicate with people. Ability to recognize diversity in the workplace. Not to have fixated mindset about your value system, about your religion, ability to have team-orientedness. We have had situations where some prospective graduates have come to us for counseling that they are scared of the future because they notice that they cannot relate with anybody. If an adult is saying that as much as he likes to work in different places across the world, he cannot sleep in the same room with anybody. There will be some situation you will be forced to sleep in the same room with strangers. How are you going to do that? So in a way, adaptability is also very critical. Time management is very critical. And which are not given to you in the classroom because there is limit to what you can be exposed to in your 4-year, 5-year degree, as the case may be. So many other things will be learned outside the formal school setting. So that is not to say that we should rule out or say that certificates are not very essential to us. Both of them are very critical for our survival.
But don't you think that's where the issue lies? The fact that some of these things that are necessary, to work in the industry are not taught in the four corners of the school. How do you expect a fresh graduate to have that kind of experience?
Thank you very much. I know that they are not taught as such. Now, let's just put our mind into a situation where we have a highly successful individual, successful in quotes, who has never been to school. What do you used to hear from them? They will tell you that it pained them. It's a pity that they didn't do what? They didn't have education. That is formal education. Now, when we talk of formal education, government is trying at federal level, at state level. You know, we have federal system, federal structure in place, and education is on concurrent list. But compare our school infrastructure today to what is operating in United States of America, to what is operating in Britain, to what is operating in China, in Netherlands, in Germany. We are hundreds of years behind them, because any course you go in to do, whether animal production, whether chemical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, psychology, sociology, counseling, it is expected that by the time you are getting to 300, 400 level, it is expected that it should be mixed bag of classroom knowledge and what? And field experience. Remember, we have ITF, Industrial Training Fund, that was established in 1973 to manage CWES. What do happen in those days in the 70s, in the 80s? You know, they are being paid a stipend. They are being given allowance. Where is the allowance today? 2, a typical computer science undergraduate will be going up and down, Lagos, Ibadan, Ilorin, anywhere, to do CWES. He could not find. Wherever he found it, they will say, we are sorry, we will take you, but we will not pay you. We will take you, but we will not do what? We will not pay you. We are lacking facilities in the polytechnic and university systems in order to create some kind of virtual environment for learners to be able to gain immense experience to make them to fit perfectly at workplace. But when we do communicate, we do press conference, and we talk about this, and we give government 21-day ultimatum, what will people say? What will the people in the society say? They will say, these people have done what? They have come again with their wahala. So in a way, we are all at fault shouldn't point accusing finger at that primary school teacher, at that secondary school teacher, at that university teacher or polytechnic teacher, because there are so many things that, let me shock you, I finished university just about 30 years ago. The classroom setting I found myself then is the same system that today's students find themselves. Nothing is added to it. Rather, many things have decayed and deteriorated. So in a way, now let's now go to the community. How many local government have ICT place? How many local government have a workshop for upcoming young ones to be able to try their hands in different things? How do we reconcile that? So, and that's the reason why some blue chip companies, when they recruit graduates, they will first expose them to like 2-3 months graduate training in order to be able to make sure that they get fitted into or get molded into what they are being programmed for. So in a way, we are imparting knowledge, we are doing research, we are doing our best, but when it comes to having real life situations across our institutions, that is strategically missing, and for that, it will be very difficult for a fresh graduate to fit into work of place without retraining, reprogramming himself concerning some specific skills.
Thank you very much. We'll look at the curriculum vis-a-vis the present age. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Welcome back to the mid-morning show. Before we went on the break, we were talking about education, talking about what you've seen.
Yeah.
And, you said something about some people that didn't go to formal school. You said they come back to say that, they are not happy that they didn't go
There's
to
a missing link.
formal school. But now, I think the narrative is quite changing. People will tell you that they're busting not going to formal school.
Right.
And that's, do you think that formal school is actually necessary for everyone?
Okay, thank you very much. The boasting that people don't go to for true formal education and they are successful is insignificant and momentary. If you have 100 people that have never been to school, how many of them are really successful in skills they have acquired and they are satisfied with it? We should know that school we are looking at, there are different levels. And schools are designed to restructure, to reprogram, to socialize individuals in acceptable way. But when you refuse to go to proper school, then you break law, then you go to the second school, which is prison system. You will see that the school system and prison system have some huge similarities. Then, in that, for example, you go to primary school, you go to secondary school, it helps you to know that you are not the only person in the struggle of life. You get to meet different people, lower cadre, upper cadre, lower class, upper class. You mingle and mix with different kind of individuals. And in school, you get to know that there are some things maybe your parents have exposed you to that are not acceptable in the society. So school have valuable role to play when it comes to discipline, when it comes to time management. You gain all this in school setting. When it comes to conformity, that's the reason why you will see across the globe, primary school, secondary school, they used to give them uniform, like they give uniform to prisoners. There's change of lesson. There's time for everything in the school system. There's time for everything in the what? In the prison system. Though it is too late for many people. They are there because of one crime or the other. Now, the school system is where you get structured knowledge about how things operate, and that is why we used to have curriculum. And primary, secondary school have 3 terms. Each of the term will be broken into about what? Into about 10 to 12 weeks. While when an individual gets to the polytechnic or university, then we have semesters. We have a session consists of
2 semesters.
2 semesters. Despite that, each of those semesters is average of what? Is average of 12 to 13 weeks, as the case may be. Now, you will notice that the way our education system is structured, what do we say we are practicing today? 6-3-3-4 system. Later they say we have lower basic, we have upper basic. But the fact is that it is expected that when a typical child finish JSS3, he will have acquired enough knowledge to be able to live meaningfully for the rest of his life. But where are those technological gadgets and laboratories in our secondary schools today across the world? You remember it was Ibrahim Babangida administration that introduced that, and they introduced all these facilities in the introduction to the technology and whatever. Where are they today? Our technical schools, a typical child after finishing JS3 may decide to go to technical colleges. It is just of recent that government of the day is trying to revive our technical colleges by saying that admission is free for those who wish to go and learn one thing or the other there. We have refrigeration, we have automobile, we have electricity, we have textile and clothing, we have food and nutrition, we have confectionery, we have animal husbandry, we have so many things there. Now, where are the teachers to take those courses, vocational courses? As valuable and vital as vocational education is, where are the teachers? To what extent are they being remunerated? If I happens to be a teacher for automobile engineering and I have 2 big clients waiting for me at my workshop to give me job that will give me profit of 50,000 or 100,000 naira, and you expect me to go to the village to go and teach students in their automobile class, without assurance that I will get my salary on time, which one will I prefer? These are missing links in our educational system that make it to seem faulty. So in summary, know that school is bad. Even in United States of America, I forget the philosopher that introduced deschooling. He emphasized that maybe because of crime in the society, because of crisis in the society, because of violence in school, maybe government should annihilate schooling and let parents sit down and expose their children to the regular curriculum, do exam. But where will they work? If you have all the certificates of the whole world, where will you work? Will you work with your family? Will you? So these are issues. Then you will notice that at higher institution, tertiary institution, we the teachers are not the only one that are managing these students. Remember, we have professional bodies, professional associations, such as NBA, such as Judicial Council of Nigeria, Medical Council of and Dental Council of Nigeria, that are into the curriculum of different professions in order to make it solid. But where government is not playing its own part, where infrastructures and facilities are not available, where an automobile engineer or mechanical engineer graduate has never been able to see electric car face to face or hybrid car and manage them, then how will that individual be able to fit into the place of work?
Thank you.
These are issues.
Now you mentioned the elementary schools that's supposed to be for virtually everybody. And by the time you are wrapping up your GSS3, you should have gotten what will take care of you for the rest of it.
While some people is at aspiration, when they finish senior secondary school, they will opt out of further education in order to be able to stand on their own. Because in the national document for education, the national policy on education, there are about 12 different objectives for why we have secondary education in Nigeria. But the big question is, how many secondary school leavers today that are between ages 16, 17, 18 years, as the case may be, how many of them are able to stand on their own, fend for themselves, compared to secondary school leavers in the 80s?
So now the question is, should one go to tertiary institution? Instead, since you know that you are going to be in fashion, rather go to maybe a fashion school owned by a private person.
It's not compulsory. When we are talking of certificates, remember, certificate, we have primary school leaving certificates. It has its own value and its own importance. Remember, we have trade test certificates. There are some mechanic drivers that attend technical schools of those days. They are mechanic drivers. They are more preferable to ordinary drivers. Are you getting me now? So then we have diploma. So what we are trying to say in essence is that depending on your cognitive competence, depending on your ability, it is not everybody that is caught out for medicine, for example, even at university level. If you are looking for admission at university level, it's not also automatic that everybody will be able to survive a medical class. It's not automatic that everybody will be a university graduate, because there are some jobs that doesn't require university certificate for you to effectively function. So when we are talking of certificate, primary school leaving certificate is there. Do you have it? Have you used it? I know some, and that's where we miss it.